The first thing which I noticed when looking at this magazine is that the position of her eyes. You can see that they're slightly set back in her head and her head is tilted downwards. As her head is tilted downwards, we know that the camera is positioned lower. Now this lower shot is normally used to show power, confidence, or superiority, which is a key element here. From this, it challenges the stereotypes that women are they're inferior to men. But as this is saying that she's as confident and that she can look down as well, it's challenging that stereotype. Out of all the images which they could have picked for Rachel, I think that this is a great one, as this confidence idea is supported with the position of her hands. The way which it's just touching the back of her neck really supports the idea of that she doesn't need the support, that she can do it on her own. This other hand here could also suggest that she believes in herself and that she believes what she can do. This image especially, you can see in her face, is quite natural looking, except for obviously her lips to match her dress. But also her contour is very sharp, which highlights her cheekbones, which again makes her just whole face lift up and give that idea that she is confident in herself. I think it's important that they've used the word your. This personal pronoun makes it seem as though the magazine is addressing it to one individual instead of such a wide range of market. I genuinely think that this is a really good idea and I will use when creating my magazine. Talking about more of the language used, I think that up here where it says Mrs. James Bond, this has the connotations that makes the audience instantly think of James Bond, which is known for his fighting, action, strong, all of those really adventure action type things. And for her to be called Mrs. James Bond gives the impression that she's just as strong, just as actiony, and all of that. It also says who on the spy who loves her. This idea could link to her red dress and her red lipstick, as it shows red is normally a colour which is used for love. I love it how they've used a mid shot really to use as the main image instead of just of a close up or even a long shot, because you can still see part of her face and like the details, but you can also see the rest of how she's acting, how she's holding herself, and all of this, which is really important to support their idea. Rachel stood right in the middle. You can see that there is an even gap between this side and this side, which is really important for any magazine. I also love how they've used a gradient for the background, as it just sums it up and how it matches the red. Although I've been saying a lot, the whole idea and design is quite simple, by having one main image, having your barcode down here, having a few article titles here and there. But apart from that, it's quite simple and simplistic, which I think is really nice and shows again that you don't need to be overcomplicated to be strong and confident. It could have been that one of the main reasons why the editor chose to use Rachel for the front cover is that she's a very influential figure, which will maybe persuade people to pick up the magazine if they've seen her in a movie or if they just think that she's really, really pretty.